Protein is both the queen and king of weight loss. Today, I'm gonna break down the best versus worst protein foods for weight loss, building muscle, and actually feeling full and alive. Because a lot of marketing out there is really confusing people, and I was one of those people who fell for the gimmicky marketing. And after decades in nutrition, teaching nutrition, and then having my own weight loss journey, I have finally found the answers. Hi, I'm Dr. Zaldivar, and I've lost 35 pounds and maintained it for years now, despite struggling with being overweight from a very young age. How did I do that? I raised my baseline dopamine levels and I ate tons and tons of protein. I also quit my nutrition professor job at the University of Miami and elsewhere so I could reach a wider audience online. If you think your protein bar is helping you, think again. Those things are packed with artificial sweeteners or even real sugar. Some have seed oils that are highly inflammatory. And don't get me started on protein shakes, which are pretty much dessert in disguise. All right, so let's settle this. We're gonna start with the worst protein foods for you. Number one, protein bars, especially the candy bar ones, the ones that taste really, really good. Are they high in protein? Yes, but they're also really high in artificial sweeteners or even real sugar in some of them. They're high in seed oils that can spike your blood sugar and spike your insulin and lead to insulin resistance, which can make it very difficult to lose weight. I remember one time I had 5 Quest bars, the chocolate cookie dough one, in one day, and that was really a wake-up call for me. And since then, the only protein bar I will ever put in my body is the carnivore bar. It's only grass-fed beef and salt and beef tallow. It's basically like a meal replacement for a ribeye steak. You can use my code Dr. Sarah to get 10% off if you want to check them out at carnivorebar.com. The second worst protein food is breaded protein foods like chicken nuggets or breaded fish. Sure, they're high in protein, but they're very, very high in inflammatory seed oils. And now with people having easy access to CGMs or continuous glucose monitoring, you would be shocked at the effect on your blood sugar level when you consume anything with seed oils. You're basically eating chicken or fish flavored junk food. Don't get me started on how seed oils will destroy your gut health. And the longer you maintain those habits, the more likely you are to develop gut health problems like SIBO or candida overgrowth or leaky gut. All those things are going to zap your energy. If your gut is poor, you're going to have poor mental health. With poor mental health, you have close to no chance at resisting temptations, and it's only a matter of time before you succumb to your food cravings and go back to eating highly palatable or addictive foods. And this is why most people are gonna yo-yo with their weight loss efforts. Trust me, I've tried everything out there and I know exactly how it goes. Third worst protein food would be flavored Greek yogurt. A lot of flavored Greek yogurt versions will have more sugar than a donut, so definitely skip it. And if you feel that maybe the artificially sweetened ones might be better, think again. There is no artificial sweetener on the planet that is going to be a net positive for your health. Even things like stevia are going to wreck your gut health on a long enough time frame. Did you know that stevia is actually used as a natural contraceptive by some ancestral populations? Fourth worst protein food would be processed deli meats. Things like salami, hot dogs, even sausages. Sure, they're high in protein, but they're also packed with a lot of sodium, preservatives, and nitrates. I had a client of mine who would be eating tons and tons of bacon, regular bacon, not the ones that you can make at home from pork belly without any additives. I'm talking regular store-bought bacon. And the moment she stopped doing that, she released all that inflammation, all of that water from her body instantaneously. And sure, you could say it's just water weight, but at the same time, the momentum that is generated by seeing the scale drop is a very powerful motivator, and it's going to help you stick to the meal plan with far less effort and far less mental anguish, as opposed to having to have all the patience in the world until finally you see a massive drop on the scale. Now to the good part. What are the best protein foods to fast track your weight loss? Number 1, eggs. Eggs are nutrient powerhouses, and the fact that they don't have any carbs, your blood sugar will remain stable the whole day. Now, I don't like to do too many eggs in one day because I feel that I far more satisfied when I'm chewing on actual meat like chicken or beef. But a little bit of eggs here and there is great, and you can add a little bit of scrambled eggs with a little bit of butter as a side with any other main protein meal. A little caveat here, eggs could pose a food sensitivity risk to some people. Of the top 7 most common food sensitivities that people suffer from, eggs is one of the most common. So you've got eggs and dairy and nuts and peanuts and soy, shellfish and things like that. And so it's a good idea sometimes to pay attention if eggs are giving you a problem, because they could cause brain fog, and then that could lead to cravings, and that's going to make it harder for you to adhere to your meal plan. Second best protein food source for weight loss is chicken breast. It's very satisfying, it is lean, it is high in protein, and if you cook it right so that it's tender and juicy, it's also delicious. Just make sure you're not drowning it in barbecue sauce, whether it's real or even the fake barbecue sauce, because while in the short term fake sugars and sauces might seem like a great idea, in the long term they are going to lead to really poor gut health. I filmed a separate video talking about how important the lean sources of protein are in our diet because they're super high in vitamin B3 or niacin. Vitamin B3 is very powerful for addictions and brain health, and that's going to prevent cravings for unhealthy foods. Third best protein food source would be Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has 2 times more protein than regular yogurt, and it's got probiotics. If you're including some plant foods on your meal plan, you can add a little bit of berries and a little bit of cinnamon, or even a tiny bit of raw honey on your yogurt, and that's going to be a very healthy treat that is very minimally processed. If you've ever thought that you might have some level of food addiction, I would definitely not recommend adding anything. But if you're generally relying on protein bars and protein shakes as a source of your protein, then a Greek yogurt snack would be definitely much more preferable. Number 4, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is high in casein, a type of protein that's very slowly digested and absorbed, and so it's going to keep you full for a very long period of time. But again, remember that dairy is also part of the top 7 most common food sensitivities, and so you might be reacting to lactose or to casein or whey or any components of dairy. And so if you have that suspicion, maybe it's a good idea to try out dairy-free for a while so that you know if you're reacting to dairy or not. Number 5, protein powders. Just make sure you're not getting protein powders that are pumped with artificial flavorings and artificial sweeteners and all of the preservatives. I really like Equip Protein, especially their collagen powders and their grass-fed beef powders. And you can use my code DrSarah15 at equipfoods.com to get a discount. And my favorite protein sources for weight loss would be salmon, smoked salmon or grilled salmon. I really love smoked salmon. Just make sure you get the ones that don't have added sugars, so make sure you read the ingredient list. Also grass-fed beef, whether it's ground beef or a steak, and poultry for vitamin B3 or niacin, and pork for vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 is great for gut motility, and when you have enough vitamin B1 and you have really good gut motility, that's going to improve your digestion and your gut health overall. And if you are on a weight loss diet, you're probably eating a little bit less food than usual, and so if you want to make sure you're getting enough nutrients, you could throw in an organ supplement. I prefer organ supplements over synthetic supplements because organs will have the vitamins in their biological form, and so they're more active and in the proper proportion to one another. I like ancestral supplements. You can use my code Dr._Sarah10 to get 10% off on ancestralsupplements.com. Now, if all this protein talk made you crave some protein in your diet, I will send you a free copy of my guide, the 30-Day Carnivore Diet Challenge Guide, when you sign up to my newsletter at DrSarahZaldivar.com/newsletter. And if you are interested in coaching, it's DrSarahZaldivar.com/coaching. And if you're interested in group coaching, you can check out my group coaching program, SSS, or Sober Slim Support, on DrSarahZaldivar.com/group coaching. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you let me know by giving this YouTube video a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting that little notification bell icon so YouTube alerts you every time I post a new video. And I'll see you in the next one.